It's been 8 years since Attila was released. 8 years. And yet, Attila is the best Total War game ever made, and I think everyone who's into Total War should play this game. Well, I should probably mention that I'm saying this without having played Shogun 2, can't really explain why, or the Warhammer series. Even if I have watched a fair amount of gameplay, I should give those games a proper go, and probably also crank up the numbers a bit more in Total War 3 Kingdoms, before I can, truly state my opinion on this in all fairness. But at the same time, why shouldn't I express that I think Attila is the best Total War game of all time? Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Total War. I'm not really saying that everyone needs to or should think of Attila the same way. More like, I would wish that only more people would see what a good game it really is. But I'm well aware that many favor Shogun 2, Rome 2, Medieval 2, Empire, Warhammer, etc. and all have their own reasons why they think that game is the best one, and which is also shared by many others within the community. Even Thrones of Britannia. Okay, maybe not Thrones of Britannia. Point is, whichever Total War game you prefer, that's perfectly fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I think that your own enjoyment is what really matters in this case. Yet again, my wish is just more people would find and see what a good game Attila really is. Because it has so much good gameplay to offer in my opinion. And it just simply holds my #1 spot. But just what does really make Attila so great? When I try to boil down to what it really makes the difference for me, it basically comes down to the following. The first thing I think is the absolute epic campaigns I have experienced during my playtime at Attila, with my THISISTOTALWAR campaign with the Western Roman Empire as probably the most fun campaign I have ever played. I have had epic campaigns in both Medieval 2 and Empire, for example, but just not on the same level of the top ones that I have experienced in Attila. I believe this is mainly because Attila works different than the classic Total War formula, so to say, where you kind of build up and then expand your way to victory, where Attila is also leaning more towards survive and overcome your way to victory, you could say. Managing your empire to victory just feels more rewarding because of this, I think. Another thing that really ties into this is the presence of migrating factions, which adds to making the campaign more dynamic. For example, as the Western Roman Empire, you start with the Suabians already within your territory, whereas the Anthians, you will have the Huns passing by on like turn 2. You will have to decide on how to defend or seek out a diplomatic solution from the get-go. And playing the Sassanids, the White Huns can soon become a real headache. You will just have to take the migrating factions into consideration to your strategy, and not only your neighboring ones, depending on which faction you play as, of course. The third thing that makes Attila so special is the actual arrival of Attila himself. The Hunnic hordes under the leadership of Attila is no joke and can be a real challenge even for the more experienced Total War players. And certainly if you have planned your campaign poorly, chances are that your precious provinces with all its investment will all just be eradicated. And when the settlement is razed to the ground, it takes forever to build it back up due to the poor growth. And the arrival of the main villain is a real fear that makes late game more interesting, no doubt. I also think that Total War Attila brings the best battles so far. Since the first release of Shogun, Total War has always been about the battles in my opinion. I'm not saying the campaign map gameplay is boring or anything. In fact, this area has improved a lot through the years and I really enjoy this side of the gameplay. But the battles are the main selling point for me at least. Take these away and it would simply not be Total War anymore. And taking all aspects of this into consideration, I think Attila just brings the best mix to the table on Great Battle and Siege maps. The fourth thing is the colors. I think the dark color setting in Total War Attila is so well made and just fits the setting perfectly, like no other Total War game. And the final thing from my part is that the game is set during the migration period, which is one of my favorite historical time periods. So, of course, this also plays its part why I like Attila so much. On a final note, of course, I also think Total War Attila has its flaws, and by far the biggest one is the poor optimization, which has kept many people away, not being able to play it with an enjoyable frame rate. All it really needed was, and still is, better optimization. And if only it would have received the same amount of support post-launch as Rome 2, then I believe it would have been one of the most successful Total War titles even to this day. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment and subscribing to my channel for more Total War content. If we can get past 1000 subscribers, you should know that all revenue will go towards my charity project THISISTOTALWAR for Suicide Zero. You can find a donation link in the description down below as well. This project will go on until the 10th of November 2023. Thank you so much for watching guys, see you in the next one.